Yes, it's another year, and what does that mean? Another loadout video. Yes, we're going to go through all 9 classes again, and I'm going to showcase some of the loadouts that I use for different game modes, for different reasons, and yeah, you guys can let me know what you think. And of course, there'll be some unusuals, and I'll show off some of the unusual taunts as well, so that you can see all of the different classes in their different poses. But guess where we're going to start? We're going to start with Spot. No, we're going to start with Scout. We're going to start with Scout. We're going to keep it going. And of course, it is the shiny cabbage-faced man. Yes, the very odd-looking Scout. This is pretty much the loadout I use for MVM these days, because if you're in a server playing like this, I don't know, he's the cabbage ninja, the lettuce ninja, whatever you want to call him. He's very shiny and very green. But yes, I play MVM with this because, you know, you put a bit of damage with this. Sometimes use the Force of Nature, if I can find it, there we go, to get around. And then we got the milk as well, which is, you know, hey, 5 points if you can know what that description is a reference towards. And then we've got my my fan versus machine, my fan of war, which, you know, is pretty good. 430 robots destroyed. It's pretty good, pretty good. And then we got my Tossle Cap, which is Scorching Flames, my Bonk Boy, which is Strange, Professional Kill Streak, and Sunbeams. And we've got my Bruises Bandana, and of course the Canteen for playing MVM with. We'll take a look at the taunts on this one. So I'm going to go through the taunts. I've got a lot of all-class taunts as well. I'm going to try and limit those to the classes that don't have very many class-specific taunts. So we're going to look at the Scout taunts here. So we've got the Batting 1000 with the Mega Strike. I've got 3 chicken taunts, and it's probably going to glitch out, so I'm going to have to remove some of them in order to show the different effects. So I've got this one, which was a nice gift from Epic Stormer, and this is Infernal Smoke. I think I need to remove that one, and then I can show this one now. And this one is Midnight Whirlwind. If you don't remove them, it only shows the first effect if you've got multiple taunts of the same type. And then if we remove that one, then we can look at this one, which is pretty much the same, but it's Silver Cyclone. So the little whirlwind that goes around is slightly lighter in colour. If we go back, then we can take a look at another loadout now that I've got, and this is the loadout I use on Halloween. It's Halloween only. I can kind of understand why, but I would love to be an alien all the time. Give me a Stranger Fire for these items and I'd use them on Scout 24/7. But yes, it's Halloween only, so I Halloween it up. I got my lightsaber, I got my kappa, you know, things like that. But yes, this is what, if you see a full-on alien Scout during Halloween, you know, could be me, could be me. And finally, I've got kind of my try-hard loadout, I guess I should call it. It's no unusuals. We got some of the strangers. So I've got my cat hat that I uncrated. I've got my Professor Specs with my 8 new users helped. You're welcome. And my Robin Walkers as well, which are also strange. So I don't stand out very much when I'm running around as a scout. If I want to play some comp games, you're not going to see me from across the map. Just use the Scattergun. That's the best choice playing. Then I've got my Community Sparkle Lugamorph. I just kind of like this one. It's nice to have the sparkles. It's nice to have the sparkles. And then my Boston Basher, which is pretty good for, you know, hurting yourself in order to build Uber in a comp scenario. One thing I forgot to show, and you've probably seen this before. Now, we do have the Burst Chester taunt, and it is kind of funny when, you know, you use the Burst Chester as the alien, because look, haha. But look, oh, didn't even need to click on the right one. So there we go. I've actually got an unusual one now. This is a strange unusual one. It has Haunted Phantasm. So it has these green ghosts that come out from the bottom. And it's a strange one. So, you know, it counts how many times you taunt. And it has the ghosts coming out. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. I like it. But those are my scout loadouts. Moving on to soldier. We start off on this one with kind of my try-hard loadout, I guess. We got my rocket launcher. I need 3 more kills, and then I've got 4 kills. 44,441 at the moment, but a little bit more, and we'll have all the 4s. And then I got my gunboats. Gunboats is the best way to play comp at the moment, just so you got mobility. And then I got my skill stick, the strange escape plan. Then I got my tyrant sound, my favorite hat in the game. It is Scorching Flames, level 88, fire horns. It's just my favorite. I always wear my Season 9 Premiership Gold Medal. That's the first season that I won Premiership. I've won it 5 times, so I've got 5 different medals. But I don't know, Season 9 was just that first season. It was just really exciting. It's kind of, I got good memories of that season. So that's one I wear. And I wear my Allfather as well on the Soldier. And this is the kind of one I'll wear if I'm playing soldier in a comp game or something like that. Take a look at the Unusual Taunts. Starting off with a Fresh Brew Victory, and we got my Screaming Tiger one, which is the fire going around. I think I need to remove that, and then we can take a look at this one, which is Showstopper. So we've got two. This one is Showstopper, looks very nice. Then we've got Soldier's Requiem, which this one is Midnight Whirlwind. And if I cancel that, then I go to this one. This one is Hellish Inferno. Hellish Inferno, which I really like. I think that's like a themed taunt, right? It's like rip, and it's just got like hell and bats coming out. I really like that one. If we go back here, then we go to my secondary loadout. So this is the kind of loadout that I use during MVM, which is slightly different. So Beggar's Bazooka is the best thing to kill robots in MVM. As you can see, I've got Robots Destroyed part on it. So that's what I use, and I use the Battalion's backup. Now the reason behind that is, if you take a look at my buff banner, I've got it exactly to Hail Zone. So I was like, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there at 8,500, and I'm going to be the guy that runs the battalions now. So I put out, I'm not going to have as much damage potential, but the battalions keeps me and my team alive. So I'm trying to get that one up to Hail Zone as well. I use my Festive Tree, which is Antifreeze. I have my Allfather and my Robin Walkers, and of course my Strange Battery Canteen for MVM. But that's pretty much the loadout I use for MVM, just because that's just a better loadout, and I like to wear different unusuals when I play different game modes. And finally, I've got one more, which is my Halloween loadout. And this is kind of like a try-hard pub. So, when those Halloween contracts hit the servers and you're kind of like, okay, I need to go into casual, need to frag some people to get these contracts done, I'll put on my black box, or my gold box as it's called, my conch, which is just, you're just healing everything, just so much health coming back. And then I've got my Strange Unusual Helmet, which is Ether Trail. Goes with the Voodoo Curse Soul, which is a haunted one, and the Grub Grenades. I mean, he just looks like a zombie, right? I mean, it looks so cool. I love it. Get him the stick. I love that loadout. It's just unfortunate these two are Halloween only, so you can only do it during full moon or during Halloween. But yes, I really do like this loadout. Onto the Pyro. And the Pyro, he's changed a bit over the time. I used to have a couple of unusuals on him, cosmetic wise, but I only use the one now. So I've got my Flamethrower, which is Forest Fire. It is Festivized. It is got Energy Orb, and it is Strange. So that's my favourite flamethrower to use. I used to use my Shotgun, which is a backwards boomstick with Isotope on it, and it is also a Strange one. And then I also use the Power Jack just for moving around. And then I've got my Wraith Wrap, which is of course Professional Killstreak, using those glitched Pro Killstreak fabricators and kits that came out during a glitched MVM a few years ago. This one's got Gangrene Footprints, so during Halloween I'll actually have green footprints behind me. And of course it's Scorching Flames. I use the Arthropods Aspect. Now a lot of people telling me this looks ugly. People telling me the Arthropods Aspect is ugly. And I'm like, I was thinking about getting a Strange one. I quite like it. I quite like it with this loadout. It looks like a bug. Like a devil bug or something. I don't know. But just for the little bit of cuteness, we got the Robin Walkers as well. I mean, I'm trying to use this on many classes because I got Strange ones and I just want to level them up. But that's kind of like my default go-to Pyro loadout for playing. I'll play that in like pugs, in Highlander pugs, and in servers as well. I'll take a look at some of the loadouts. Now I like this. This is an all-class one, but I'm going to show you on Pyro because it's just so cool. It's so cool. What's the name of it? Spooky Night. And it's got the moon, it's got the clouds, and you're on a broom, and you can move around. This is an all-class taunt. You can use it on every class. Just showing you on Pyro there. Then we've got Pool Party. Now this is the one that you can't actually see the pool or anything. You just see him sitting down. But this is the one that I use an Unusual Fire on, and I got, Roaring Rockets. Then we've got Party Trick. This is my first ever Pyro Unusual Taunt, actually, which has got Fountain of Delight. Now if we remove this one... Oh, can't go cancel, please. Don't die on me now. Okay, sorry about that. So we are back, and yeah, the item servers died during a loadout video. How amazing is that? Thanks, Valve. But we can take a look at the other pool party I got, which I've traded for, and this one is Acidic Bubbles of Envy, and that is the one that I wanted when I was using the Unusual Fire. It just looks so cool when you have it kind of around the Pyro when he's in his little gasoline pool having a pool party. It looks so cool. I love it. I love it. And it's green, so it goes in my loadout as well. We take a look at the other loadouts I have on Pyro. So this is my flog loadout. A lot of people hate me for it. If I jump into a pub server and start playing with a flog, people start yelling, WM1. Don't care. Don't care. I've got my Strange Collector's Professional Killstreak flog. Yes, trying to get that to Hail Zone. I think that'd be pretty cool. But I do like the flog. It is fun to play with. I've got also my Strange Collector's Professional Killstreak Man Melter. I like the Man Melter. It goes well with the flog. You can't air blast people with the flog. So you can use the Man Melter to extinguish teammates and then use crits. You get crits every time you extinguish, and then you can do a lot of damage, and that builds up your flog. It's a nice little combo. Then I've got my Amaranthine Napper's hat, which goes pretty well. It's painted kind of like a purpley colour. And then I've got my Pink Bruises bandana, and then again the Robin Walkers just to go around. And that is my loadout for Pyro. I do have a third loadout, which is kind of a Christmassy loadout. Christmassy, we got festive. We got kind of the regular greeny items there. We got my festive tree, candy, what's candy? Schmancy, fancy schmancy handy canes, and the Smithmas sweater. Just a little Christmassy loadout for just to bring a bit of fire to the Christmas time. Moving on to the demo now. And of course, there he is, the Golden Demoman. Not changed much. If I'm playing in a pub server, though, I might switch to things like the Iron Bomber or things like that. But in general, this is the Gold Man. We've got my Hail Zone, Festivise, Professional Killstreak, Australian Grenade Launcher, that's quite a mouthful, and the same dealio here on my Sticky Bomb Launcher, up to 23,000 kills now, nearly 24,000. See how many, I don't know how many kills I've had with my Sticky Bomb Launcher in the past year. If anyone wants to go look at the previous video, how many more I've added. And then I've got my my golden firing pan. Yeah, maybe one day, Then we've got my Professional Killstreak Regulator, Sunbeams. I've got the Dangerous 2 with, this has got a specialized kill streak, as has this, my Bearded Bombardier. I don't know, they were glitched, people were just throwing them on things, I just threw them on there, but they're all painted gold. We'll take a look at some of the taunts. So we got the Bluterated taunt, which is just with Holy Grail. It looks so cool in this loadout. I mean, that is just the coolest thing. I love it. So much gold. So much gold. We've also got the Bad Pipes, which has got Spectral Swirl, which is pretty cool. It looks better on the other loadout, which we're going to look at in a second. This is my second loadout. So this is the loadout I usually use for MVM. So we've got my Sweet Dreams Grenade Launcher, Minimal Wear, Hot. And this one, Pink Elephant Sticky Bomb Launcher, Factory New, Hot. Both of them have got Pro Kill Streaks on it, so I can use that for MVM. Sometimes I'll switch things up though, and I use my Diamond because that's got Robots Destroy Strange Part on it. But in general, I like to have like a different loadout and just take a look at these unusual weapons. For the hat, I've got my Doctor's Adapter Topper, Robo Active. So, you know, it's got that kind of pink theme. We've got another Dangerous too. So this was back when, as you can see, date received 2015. This was when there was a small period of time where you could actually trade these items. You could gift wrap them and trade them. That's no longer the case. You can't trade them anymore, even with gift wrap. So I was quite fortunate to get a second pair of these when I had the chance. And then I've got another Bruiser's bandana, which is painted pink. And of course, my battery canteens for getting those charges in MVM. Now, my third loadout for Demoman. There we go. We have my third loadout, which is kind of like a Demo Night loadout. I'm not great at playing Demo Night, I'll be honest with you. However, I like to give it a try. So I've got my Bootlegger and my Titan. I've got collector's version of those. I quite like having those because there's no strange versions, so it's nice to have a different kind of quality of item in those slots. And then I've got my, I'm going to take a breath for this one. Spectacularly Lethal, Unusual Professional Killstreak Horseless Headless Horseman's Head Taker. There we go. Yes, very, very long name. It is the Head Taker, which I've made strange using a Strangifier, and I made it Professional Killstreak using those were items that you were able to get during Halloween, which makes them quite expensive. Now this one is a tradable one, which again raises the price of it as well, because most versions you get are untradable. Whereas this one you can actually trade. It has a Halloween spell on it as well, Exorcism, and it has the Strange Pants, Taunt Kills, Domination, Scroll Cookers. So this is actually a really, really expensive item just because of all of those things. The fact that it is strange, like a regular version, an untradable version would not be very much. You just have to gift wrap it and stuff like that. But a clean, meaning it's tradable, one with a Halloween spell, and it's strangified, and it's got a professional kill streak on it. That's quite a combination, so it's a nice weapon to have. And then I use my Nebula hats, my one and only Nebula Unusual. It's my Universal Translator, which is of course now all class, so I can use it on other classes as well. But it's on my Demoman here, with the Voodoo Curse Soul and the Haunted Pocket Horseman. There he is, on the back there. It's who he wants to be when he grows up, you know, the Headless Horseman. And that's something I like to do during Halloween, and, you know, just run around as a Demo Knight and give it a bit of a go, because, hey, I'm not great at Demo Knight, but it's nice to try it every now and again. On to Heavy now, and we have kind of like my regular try-hardy loadout, I guess, if you want to call it that. I've got my Hailzone Professional Killstreak Festivized Minigun, the Sandwich, and the Fist of Steel. This is what I'd do if I was playing like a Highlander game as a heavy, for example, or just playing in a server and wanting to get some frags. I've got my Dragonborn helmet with Burning Flames and Voices from Below, so it gives them a really deep voice, kind of like the Dragonborn, right? It's themed. Now I've got my Robin Walkers, which I like to get some points on, and my Allfather as well. So that's the kind of loadout. Now for the heavy, unfortunately we don't have very many unusual taunts for the heavy. He has, well, I don't own any for him that is specific to the heavy. So we're going to look at the all class ones that we haven't looked. I promised I would show you. Here we go. We've got the Conga. Now my Conga is Professional Kill Streak, because again I used a glitched Professional Kill Streaker onto it. It is Fountain of Delight. So we have the nice little hearts coming out of it. Then we've got the Kozotski Kick, which I uncrated. If you remember Halloween before last, and that's got Spectral Swirl, nice little purple. So these are all kind of group taunts. Then we've got the Skullcracker. This is Screaming Tiger. I'm just going to zoom him out a little bit here. Remember what my there we go. So you can see the fire. I mean, it looks pretty cool. And of course that's a partner taunt, which he stands still and it just keeps going. And then we got the Zooming Broom as well. There we go. And Heavy can be Harry Potter if he wants to. Heavy Potter. How about that? And then again, we've got the Burst Chester. So, I mean, the Heavy, maybe I need to get a Heavy specific unusual taunt just so he doesn't feel left out. We'll move on to another loadout though. We do have a loadout here. Now this is like my MVM loadout, which, like I said, I use for MVM. Now I've got my Diamond Bot Killer here. Now a lot of people like to use the Brass Beast in MVM because it does do more damage. I like to be a little bit more mobile because I like to rotate to different places. And I use my Bot Killer because it's also got Robots Destroyed on it. Sandwich, just regular again. And then the Killing Gloves of Boxing. Sometimes it's nice to just get a punch onto a robot, get a kill, and then you get those 5 seconds of crits, which can do a lot more damage. And because there's no point in kind of getting the strangers, I have the Dragonborn and the large Luchador. So I replace the Robin Walkers with the large Luchador, so I can just have that. Just move it down. You can see the bat going around, the burning bat, and then my Battery Canteen and my Allfather. I do have a third loadout, which is my Santa loadout. Yay! This is the one I like to wear during Christmas. I get the Strange Holiday Punch going. You can see his mittens. He is Santa. He is Santa. He is the gift bringer. That is what I'll do during Christmas. Just jump into a server and throw out some gifts, so everybody can feel like they're getting something for Christmas. We've got the BMOC, the Allfather, and the gift bringer. Onto the Engineer now, and I basically have two loadouts for the Engineer. One is kind of the one that I'm running. This is what I'll run in MVM, for example, or if I'm playing on a payload map, if I'm being on the defense, I'm building level 3s. I've got my Rescue Rangers, got Giant Robots Destroyed. I've got 102 kills and 51 Giant Robots Destroyed, so you can tell I play mostly MVM as Engineer, not really in pubs. I've got my Geiger Counter as well, which is basically the reskinned Wrangler. This is a strange version. And then I've got my Australian Wrench, which again, you can take a look at the kills. I've got a lot more than that. If we look down here, take a look at health dispensed to teammates. How many is that? Over 1 million from dispensers, 14,000 teleports. Mostly play MVM as an NG, not really playing it in much pubs. But if I was building level 3s, that's what I do. Big country there with Scorching Flames. And then I go with the Grizzled Growth. So he kind of just looks a bit weird. He's very green. And the Max's Severed Head, all painted lime, just kind of very green looking. I have some nice taunts that go well with it. So we've got the Skill Got on Gains, Rancho Relaxo. Can't see his chair, he's just floating. But that's the one with the money. Now if we go cancel here, we can take a look at this one here. This is the other one. This one is Showstopper. So I have two Rancho Relaxos, one with Skill Got on Gains and one with Showstopper. And then we take a look at the Bucking Bronco. This one has got Infernal Smoke, so it's that green smoke. It goes kind of well with the with the green hair. Can't see the bucking bronco, but yeah, it doesn't show up in my head for some reason. If we go back now, we can take a look at my second loadout, which is, this used to have 6 unusuals on it, not as many anymore. I technically could have more if I wanted to. I do still have the pistol, but I have my shotgun. I've got the kappa, strange kappa, got over 1,000 kills on it by now, but I don't use it as regularly, but it goes pew 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 pew, so it's pretty fun to use. I've got my gunslinger, which is now professional kill streak. I upgraded it. Still got my PDA. And then this big crunchy is purple energy. This one is my Brainiac hairpiece with green energy, and it gives that white energy look when you put it all together. And then I've got my Robin Walkers just for the little cute birds on my slippers. On to the next class, and medic. And you're saying, CJ, where's the unusuals? Now you see I'm a medic main. I play medic in Highlander. I play medic in 6s. That is my main. So when I'm playing, I don't want to stand out from a mile away. And I want to also be able to switch between loadouts quickly. So this is my comp loadout. I'll run the crossbow. I'll run the medigun. As you can see, my medigun is now up to 31,938 Ubers. That's another weapon I'd like to see. If you go back to previous videos, how many Ubers and assists I've got up over the years. 61,500 assists. And then I've got my epic professional kill streak, festive bonesaw. So nearly at Hell's End. We've just got, what, just under 3,000 kills to go. Now I used to run the gibbous quite a lot. Found my gibbous. This is the hat I used to use a lot. As you can see, it's got 132,000 points on it. And 30,000 assists. That's because I was mostly playing medic. But I was like, you know what? I created a strange cat hat. Let's go for that. Let's go for that. And I got my Robin Walkers and my Allfather. That's kind of like, it looks a little bit like a homeless person, right? a little bit. So that's the kind of loadout that I use at the moment. If I'm playing regularly. Then if we go to B, we've got the Kritzkrieg, and we go to C, we've got the Quick Fix, which I'll switch between that and the Vaccinator. But mostly, in 6s, I'll switch between A and B for Uber and Crits, and then Highlander, and of course also bust out the Quick Fix if I need it. If we take a look at the taunts for the medic that I've got 2 specific taunts. I've got the Meet the Medic with Showstopper. That was my original first unusual taunt I got for the medic, but since then I've also got the Results Are In. This has Ominous Night, so it's got that green moon in the background, the green, and I think it looks quite cool, just like the X-ray. It's kind of like similar colours, It looks pretty cool. So those are kind of like my comp loadouts for medic. There we go, A, B, and C, and it's like, oh, CJ, you got... Well, you know what? If I'm on a pub server and I feel like I want to flex on someone, bust out the shininess. There we go. We got the Australian Bloodsaga. We've got the Australian minigun. We've got the Ubersaurus, the same as before. And then we've got my vintage Tyrolean with sunbeams, my scorching professional killstreak blighted beak, and my unusual antlers with green confetti. That is as shiny as you can get, ladies and gentlemen. That is just shiny. That is just shiny. Because sometimes, when I'm playing in my boring old regular medic clothes, sometimes it's like, hey, let's go into a server and show how shiny I can be. That is the final loadout for medic. We go on to sniper now. My sniper is another one with white energy. Now I'm running my regular Australian sniper rifle. I got it up to Hell Zone, and again I got it up to exactly Hell Zone, 8,500. And I was like, you know what? Let's try and get other items to Hell Zone. So I've been using the Orber Hand more often recently, or the Shooting Star, which is obviously the reskin of the Machina. So things like that I've been using. I've got my Razorback and my Bat Out of Hell. That is kind of the stuff I'll use in a pub server if I'm sniping. I don't want to get backstabbed, and this is just a regular melee weapon, basically just a reskin. For my unusuals, though, I've got my Killer Exclusive with Disco Beatdown. That's painted white. That has the little effects on the top. We just move him down a little bit, you can see. And then we've got my Green Energy Yellow Belt, and I've got my Purple Energy Villain's Veil, which is also strange. And green and purple together make white, as we know, and that is the effect that we get there. We've got some nice taunts for, well, we've got one actually. We've got one unusual taunt, which was my first ever unusual taunt that I got. It's got the Disco Ball 72 and it's ICU. That was the first ever unusual I ever uncrated in my life, many years ago now. But that was my first ever unbox. If I'm ever playing in a server and I feel like I want to try hard, I might run this loadout, which is, the Shooting Star. Just go for the body shots. Girati and Bushwhacker. If anyone gets close to me, I can just kapow, hit them with the crit when they're covered in the PP. And then for the loadouts, we've got the Corona Australis, the Starduster, and the Final Frontiersman, which kind of go well together. You know, it's basically a set for the sniper, and I think it looks quite cool. And it does mean that you don't stand out very much with all of the unusuals. But moving on to the third ladder, this is the thing I'll use in MVM. So again, I've got the same loadout with cosmetics. I've got my battery canteen in case I do need to use a canteen in MVM for a sniper, but it's very, very rare. But instead over here, I'm running the Hitman's Heatmaker because it is the best sniper rifle to use in MVM, because you can use the focus and just stay zoomed in. Then I've got my Girati and my Bushwhacker, which again, very useful, but I've just got my regular collector's ones because, you know, killing a robot doesn't count towards your strange, so there's no point, so I use these ones. Because, you know, the Bushwhacker is actually really good to take on tanks as well, because if your soldier buddy is running the buff banner, that means you're going to get mini crits, but with the Bushwhacker, those become regular crits. So it's pretty good. So that's my MVM sniper loadout. And finally, we have our Spy, which this is kind of like my big loadout, I guess. I've got my Ambassador. I'm trying to get it to Hail Zone. You know, it's been nerfed. It's not as good as it used to be. We are at 6,136 kills. So we just got just under 2,500 kills to go. And then I've got my knife, which is, of course, Hail Zone, my regular Aussie knife. My Dead Ringer, which is also Hail Zone, and my Manco Select Sapper. For the cosmetics there, we've got my Fedora, which is, you know, limited hat because you can't get them anymore, and it is a Burning Flames one. And then we got the Party Phantom with Scorching Flames, so you get this kind of double fire effect. And then I've got my Robin Walkers on the feet, just so that he's nice and cozy. Got some nice Spy Unusual Taunts. We've got my BioLife, which is my original one. This one is Showstopper. And then we also had Disco Fever, which again is also Showstopper. This one again was donated. This was a nice donation from Skatnik this year. So yeah, a little bit of dancing. It's kind of funny dancing with those slippers on, I have to be honest. We go back and then we can take a look at the other loadouts. This would be maybe my tryhard loadout. If I really, really wanted to try hard, I'd run the revolver because it's more sort of guaranteed damage coming out of the revolver. This is my strange, unusual revolver. Flower power with isotope, minimal wear. And then I've got the Spicicle. A lot of people use the Spicicle these days. I flip between using the Spicicle and the knife. I think the Spicicle can be useful, but it can kind of be annoying depending on the way that you want to play. But, you know, it's always nice to run at some point. And then I've got my Inviswatch. I actually prefer running Inviswatch if I'm tryharding, just getting in behind and going for those odd picks, and then just the regular Sapper. And then for this loadout, I've got the Bedouin Bandana and then the Deadhead, both from the Mayflower Cosmetics collection. They were the two elite grade items, and they go really, really well together, actually. And then I've got the Robin Walkers as well, just on the feet. So we've got like a triple elite loadout there for the Spy. There's no more loadouts except for this one, which is a work in progress, which is my attempt at making an all collectors loadout. This was a video I made a long time ago where I said I was going to try and do this, and collector's items are extremely expensive, but I was going for the Spy one because you can have 4 items on Spy, kind of like the Engineer where you can have 4 slots as well. However, with the Engineer you can't have a collector's PDA, so I was like, you know what, we'll go for the Spy, as you can have 4 collector's weapons, and I just need that final collector's cosmetic for the Spy, and this loadout will be complete. But there we go, guys. Those were all of my loadouts. I hope you enjoyed seeing the different unusuals, the different taunts and things like that. And I hope you like the reasoning for the different kind of loadouts between comp and MVM and pubbing and things like that. Let me know what was your favorite. Let me know what you guys think. How can I improve those loadouts for next year? I would like to hear your feedback. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you had a great 2018, and let's hope 2019 is going to be even better for us. Take care, and I'll see you next time.